they will never. So long as it's not full. There are people who are only applying the trademark because it takes 3 to 4 years to get trademark registered. Now you have to be very careful because when you make it as an NOC or application of trademark, which sure definitely it will be in the company's name, it will be a beneficial name or other company's name if it is. You have to make sure that application word name you show here list of other business. Make sure there is a contradictory. I mean, you have to make sure that where the information you give to one side also link to the other side also. So for example, you have done it the trademark application in your single name. They may need a sole proprietorship. So that here under single line, you would also mention that I am doing this business. If it is, you cannot put that application for a trademark that I want this name, which may be applied by your sole proprietorship concern or by somebody else. So you have to be very careful, disclosure of information. That if one time you give some information, you see that it's not linked to somewhere else, where you have to disclose that name or that information. Now, in principle, that's a normal that only come when there is SEBI related or NOC. You have to make it from everything NOC required. So you have to make sure that you don't miss out any information, because the liability on us is not only a false statement or misstatement, even the absence of proper information also or lack of information also make you liable. So they will be very wide coverage. Deliberately you make a false statement, or you don't give us some information which you feel may not be required, but they feel is required. So it is everything. Lack of information, less information. I mean, there's all subjectivity that what do you mean by full information or not, but you have to make sure that all these things is properly documented so that you have your defense if something comes up. Then electoral trust, that's I think why they are putting in focus. And then all conversion, when you want to go for conversion into either partnership rules or section K, that's a different derivation. So this Inc. 1 has application for OPC, normal public private companies, and section 8. All the 4 applications is the same, but you have to make sure that attachment, relevant attachments are already backup you have, because this is the backup. You have to prove that you go through all this information before you certify this form. So after you apply the name, it is now today whatever that you have the 60 days from the date of you get approval. And you can go review for more. Now under this, from your date of application it is 60 days. So if ROC takes 15 days to 30 days to approve the name, that number of days is gone. You have to be very clear with that when you apply and when you get a name reservation, if there is a difference, you lost it all. And you won't get again name for India. Again you have to put a fresh. Now what are the consequences if you look at it? Based on wrong or incorrect information. Now again the incorrect information is what everybody is to do. Incorrect information related to what? My incorrect information, client incorrect information, or interpretation issue where I say this is what I have to fill up and you say no, this is what you are supposed to fill up. If company is not incorporated, to 1 year penalty, which was not there as of today. So even the name application, if something forms not correct, they have a right to levy the penalty of money. Besides, whatever they have to do under 448 Act, you find no information, uninformed information. If company is already incorporated, then they ask for the change of name or winding up or planning of the company. Now, see, the issue here is maybe a corporate issue. Suppose anybody wants to be in competition with you, or anybody who is not in good line with you, he may just put a small note to all, okay, this company has been incorporated, with wrong information, this information, that information. What will happen? Earlier there was nothing like that. Once you have an incorporation, there was no provision that you have the wrong thing or something. But now they have made it up. If the incorrect information is this, is that, then you are straight away liable for commission. So the question may arise that how far you have to make sure that you don't fall into any kind of these issues. You have to be very clear when you file the form whether information which you perceive is correct, you properly corrected and filed. Again, same if you name only not incorporated, one day. If incorporated, then you will change the name, typing of everything, and all the consequences. Now here we don't know if suppose a company is incorporated after 5 years, this something happened. What is this doing to 5 years? Whatever business you have done, or what will you do? What will you think? Liability which you will initiate. So many things. So they put all these things. But the consequences of this, if anything happens to us, not sure. What would be the downside of this issue? Now, memorandum again you have to be very careful now. Like what we standardize, main, ancillary, and other objects, and we used to have all kind of other objects into a memorandum. In last 5-6 years, they are disallowing other objects. Normally they don't allow unless you have the very good capital. They don't allow other objects. Okay. So if this is the case, one is to be very careful that object which you acquire. Whether they want one object, 2 objects, 3 objects, you have to be very careful. Object is less than that, then you have to see whether you have multiple company to import a company, because they don't allow multiple objects, maybe 3 or 4. Some ROC coming in their own view that will not allow more than 5 objects. That also similar object of your business. So one is to be very, very careful about the object. Again, the change of object which we do today. The section has very vague kind of what you call provision, where the object, whether you can allow or not, because the section talks about if any company who has come with the public issue and there is a public money, if they want to change the object or which is the same time what CBS prescribed. So in that scenario you have to be very careful whether you will allow the object to change later or not. Though some ROC allowing it, but legally if you look at compared to section 17 of current section, there is no similar provision in the new act. The article is a good provision too. It's allowed first time recognize if by joint venture if you have any kind of specific article for enforcement or for affirmative works, you can get it this done into corporation. So you have to be very careful. If it's a JV company, right from day one, if the service agreement is there, you can get it this one direct. And article is normal standardized. And it is the same thing what we have to do also. Except that wherever there is a section, you have to change the date. So transfer of shares, which we know as a private company, we have a restriction, but other companies, public company, there is no restriction. There is quantitative judgment of Bombay High Court. But now, even for a public company, they will allow restriction on transfer of shares by virtue of joint venture agreement or shareholder agreement. So that restriction you can put into your articles. Then you file the form. Now incorporation. If you look at here today, what we just sign it out, file it out. In the incorporation, the document which you have to give is the same what you give for deed PSC. Subscriber, the director. Once again, they have to give their own identity, proof, whatever they give for deed, everything again you will give that. The same thing is the subscriber also have to give the same thing. In case of company, the representative who is signing the form, he has to give all the information. That means, in respect of whether you already have a deed or information of government, every time when you go for a company incorporation, all information again you will upload. All payment, you have to make sure that this information is not in contrary to any other information which you give previously. So consistently you have to make sure that all your information, all your proof are same as what you used to do. Secondly, in case of authorized representative, like today, there could be a company which says, okay, director is company will earn 999 shares. The same director will authorize to have 1 share, and the same director will sign for both of these. As a company and as a now it won't allow. You have got 2 different persons. One may be authorized representative of your company. One is separately person who is from who is holding 1 share. No. In case of foreign national, you have to get everything notarized and considered. That's a very important point. Any foreign document, you have to make sure that it is properly notarized, apostilled, or considered by the Indian consulate. Otherwise, not a single document will be accepted, or even by chance it is been accepted, it will be amount to a false information rather than true. Because after the act, you are supposed to have all these foreign documents consularized, notarized, or legalized. Then again, affidavits and everything. Now, one other thing which comes from the subscribers, which was not there earlier, the affidavit of the subscribers and the director says that they are not contravening any act, provision in last by their file. The one of the word they use that there is no breach of any duty to any company. These are the affidavit which subscriber and director has to do. Now, breach of duty, one has to imagine what is the breach of duty. If I don't file form 32 or any form within 30 days as per the standard requirement, or I don't file my income tax return within the time limit, technically, legally, it's a breach of duty towards my company. Am I supposed to disclose that I have breach of duty of all my previous companies where I have not filed the form in timely manner or any other? So one has to be very careful reading the word breach of duty, and you have to make sure that what is the breach of duty. Even anything which you are supposed to legally filing form within 30 days or holding meeting, and if you have not done it, or you have gone for compounding in past, if you don't disclose, they may treat as breach of duty you have done in past and you have not disclosed it. And all the things will come out, that ratio of case and everything will be there. The most important thing in the ratio of which today's problem is concerned, the proof of address. The most important thing today is the registered office is a proof of address. We know that there is no matching proof of address of anything. And neither your electricity bill will be there, neither your lease agreement will be the same, neither anything. And here the problem comes up because many times ROC reject the form because there is no matching, word-to-word matching of the your registered office plans. The most importantly is that any professional who are signing this form INC 22 for registered office, he has to mention 2 things by certifying that he has personally visited this office. Okay. And 2, company's functioning. The word is company's functioning for the business purpose of the company. Now the company functioning is what? One has to imagine. Means I started a business, I raised the invoices. What is the functioning of the company? And nobody even within 15 days you don't get even PAN number. How the company will function? That's the one thing. Secondly, under section 11, Now because the commencement certificate started, it said the company cannot function unless you get paid up capital 1 lakh or 5 lakh, or unless you file registered office address. So I don't know, somewhere say you functioning, you just show that he is functioning, and somewhere you say he is not functioning, you cannot function. So I don't know what is the logic of using these two forms. Might be because that our certification as a professional. So you have to see if this Anadi is saying, okay, no, this functioning means company should function, there should be employee, there should be computer, there should be all these things. Within 15 days, I don't think it's possible. So one has to be very careful about this language which we use in our certification, because tomorrow it may create a problem for us. The details of subscriber, again the new thing comes out. Your signature and your photo has to be verified by banker and notarized. In the draft rules, it was literally bankers who certify only with your account number and everything. Luckily, they have removed that account number reference. Only banker has to certify or notary. Safer side is better to go to notary and get it certified your photo and signature. That means in spite of giving signature, in spite of giving green number, in spite of everything, they want again more verification that who is subscribing, his signature will also be taken by third party. You are already witnessing, assuming that before he is signing a subscriber page, you are witnessing that he is signing before me. But still they want the signature verification. So you have to be very careful with the client. You don't initial somewhere and full signature somewhere. Otherwise we will have a problem. In the case of foreign subscribers, I have two major issues. Up to now what we used to do, we used to get authority in our locally that he is allowed to file a form, sign everything and all, we get everything. Now they are not allowed. They made it two different changes. If it is a foreign company, then they can authorize any officer, employee or director of that foreign company. So there is no question of any Indian people getting signature. I don't know why they don't want this profession to us also. We are getting good money because we are representing. Now if you send them one page, they are getting trouble. If you send them 100 pages, I don't know whether you get over. The second, more importantly, in case of LLP, they want that resolution has to be passed by all the partners. Now one is to imagine, I don't know whether their LLP has 100 partners, 200 partners, 300 partners. And the document has to be signed by one of the partners of that LLP. I have not seen any LLP, any partner is signing anything. And particularly for India, very few people are signing all documents. Practically. So one has to be very careful when you have to ask this question when there is a foreign client, whether you are LLC or LLP. And you get the certificate incorporation because that has to be attached with your requirement. The group of foreign subscribers, their registered office also you require. They don't know that outside India there is no concept of registered office. There is a concept of legal receiver. You can appoint any agent who on your behalf of the company accept all the documents legally. But there is no concept of registered office per se outside India. So they want a proof of certificate incorporation and this one. Now one has to be very careful and be very clear with that. Are you LLC or LLP? And you have to make sure that partner signs and not be any officer. So normally for a subscriber, everything has to be notarized. Everything, right from board of directors and everything has to be notarized. All the document has to be properly verified, because the passport in a very foreign, there are tendency that there are two names also. Then somebody has the three names also on the passport. They don't put your father's name, mother's name anywhere. They don't put the address of your residence anywhere. And every time when you argue this, they say it is secrecy, privacy, this, that, give, not give. So many things comes up. So you have to be very careful when you get all this information, that you get proper information from the foreign. Again, certificate. Lastly, if you file all this information, after all these hurdles, And lastly, we don't know how much of the capacity today 2.5 MB. With all, I mean today after this one stamp paper, color paper, 2.5 MB doesn't go. After all this information, and the private public company uses 7 subscribers and 7 3 directors. So 10 people's affidavits, all the proof, everything you have to file. Minimum. So there are almost 4 to 5 affidavits, professionals affidavit, subscriber affidavit, directors affidavit, verification of signature, everything. So if you look at overall maybe 25, more than 50 documents you have to file. And you have to make sure that you don't miss out any documents by scanning on everything. It's a very tedious job. And again, I already mentioned section 5 and 6. Submitting false information, representation, suppressing material information, punishment under 447. Either clear there, after there, whichever there is. You don't have other choice. And then again, the tribunal, it comes in our binding. Normally, just I will touch up, or shall I go to section 8? So generally section 8 is same what we have today, section 25. Only additionally they made a 4-5 more object, sports and education and everything. So there is a wider cover section 8. And you can use this word which was not earlier very specifically they mentioned. Now they are allowing this word to be used if you have any kind of section 8 company associated with any kind of this, whatever foundation or whichever. So now they officially allow this kind of attachment with your name. So the same thing, first you have to go for what we do today. You have to apply application in the form. Okay, normal name application. What we do in Mahindra. After you get that name application approved, you have to go for a license with the ROC. They give the ROC. Okay. In that, again you declare everything. You have to give the estimate of next 3 years. I mean, currently, many times they ask for 5 years also. But now they have made it to 3 years. Okay, if you are existing converting this one, then you have to do financial of 1 year or operation of last year with all assets and liability. So both the time you can do it. New company as well as conversion of existing section 8 other company to section 8. And the similar process is not much. It's the same line as what you have in the normal company incorporation. Same kind of information, same kind of documentation, same kind of disclosure, everything is the same. Again the same thing, declaration of form, because some of things was not there, like declaration by person was making this something. Before that, to go to RD, to get a license. So system, there is no change in the overall process of section 8. Documentation is now 10 times. Process remains the same, but the documentation for each and every person's information, subscriber information, everything is like that. I just jokingly say, except FIR that you have to get police certificate you are on it. They ask everything from you, right from your birth certificate, phone name, resident address, everything. That somebody who is subscriber he has to say that this is I. Then professional has to say that yes, he is he. And then third person will say again yes, he is. So 3 people has to certify the subscriber director that these people are genuine. Then only we will get it information. Here is the catch. Today we don't have any penalty or prosecution much. Here the penalty is 10 lakhs to 1 crore. And for the people that are officials, imprisonment. Now you have to use this word imprisonment because it's very, very catchy. All companies that have imprisonment everywhere, most of the time. And you have to just make sure that you see the word or, because that will give you comfort, because then you go for comfort. Otherwise you have to see that whether you directly go to jail or fine from 25,000. So in nutshell, everything is same, simple. अच्छे दिन आ गए, but only thing पूरे दिन we fall into any kind of documentation.
We have some 5 minutes to yeah.
Now I go typically what happens to a foreign subtitle and where we have the practical issues. See, one of the things when you have a foreign subtitle or foreign, one thing you have to be very careful. You have to be very, very thorough in your legal interpretation. You have to tell them, because they, if the moment you say I want this, you will ask the question, show me where it's written. And this is practically I am telling you why. Again, it could be sarcastic, but I am telling you this I work for all other jurisdictions, Mauritius, Cyprus. You may go to any arbitration in all these jurisdictions. They are very clear. For you want this is what you require. No compromise on legality of their country. This we require. In India, everybody gives them the different views, and this practically. If you say no, I want this, next day you email, but I got advice that this is doable. The word we use, हो जाएगा, चल जाएगा. There is no, I mean it's unfortunate. I am telling you very that outside religion they are very clear that no, these are the things which you require, you have to do this. In India, if you ask this question that you give me this information, you will say no, I will advise that it's चलता है. पहला हो गया इससे. I mean they talk in our own language. You know, you have to be very careful of this. The second one, most importantly, you have to be very clear with what you require. If you want 10 items, you tell them I want 10 items very clearly. If you give the 9 items, then after one day you give 10 items, it's gone. This is why you are not giving me all information at a time what you want. Third one, you have to be very clear, because every time they will ask, and most of the foreign ask, what is my liability? Am I supposed to sign this one? Where my information will be used? Is it a public document? Is it a privacy issue or something like that? Where all this information will go? All these questions they ask. You have to be very clear and make all kind of disclaimer with all section and whatever you know. Give me this is what required. So this you have to do this. If still you wanted to go, you say okay, I don't mind. As per what you say, I will file it out. But if something comes up, you have to be very clear. You have to reply to that, or it will be delayed. You have to be very clear with them on the timing, on the documentation, on execution. Otherwise, he will say, and more importantly, you have to be very, not sensitive about them asking their mother's maiden name. For DSC, normally MC asks what is mother's maiden name. You have to be very careful to ask them what is their mother's maiden name. Because sometimes they open it. Some people doesn't. And some people says, what's matter? You can put any. So you have to be very clear. If he doesn't want to disclose, then you have to get in writing that whatever you give me, I am putting into this one. Otherwise, your dean or DSC won't actually. You have to be very clear with that. The third thing comes up is about their name. They have the European Union, they have a different kind of documentation. There are people who are of Americans or French, but they are working in Singapore for so many years or Hong Kong. In this situation, when the people have the passport of one country and residing in another country, you have to be very careful and you have to be very precise that all documents you have to get it notarized or approached by your consulate in that country, and again Indian consulate has to legalize. Because many times ROC doesn't allow, suppose a person is from USA and is staying in Singapore. If Singapore notary certifies something, they don't accept. This is not of that country. If you go to that, it's very clear. The notary of the country of which is received. So you have to be very clear. You have to get ask them to get notarized from their own consulate from that country and Indian consulate. Because if Indian consulate is certified, then you are out. And Indian consulate doesn't certify unless it is notarized or that embassy certifies the document.